There we go. Three, two,
Still not using your new toy.
and no, not yet. Not using the new tool yet. It is. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. Jason Douglas is
Common Sense News and Entertainment.
Here on Saturday, June the 6th, D-Day, by the way.
That's
I'm here
right.
with Court
82 years.
once again. And yes, I'm in just a white tee tonight. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty fired up tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we started by talking about how civil war is inevitable.
It is inevitable.
Cities have fallen.
Yes.
Well, I disagree.
Okay, but let me explain.
On
the air first.
Concentrated areas in which you have the media trying to amplify these visuals as much as possible. And all you have to do is walk 5 blocks in any direction and you won't see it anymore.
Okay. That's so the fact that that's wonderful. But let me tell you what the real story is here, sir. I disagree with you, and let me tell you why. 70 years ago, 60 years ago,
50 years ago.
What's that?
40 years ago.
No, let's go back
30 years ago.
Let me go back to the 1960s, to Vietnam. Let's go to Vietnam. 60s.
Mm-hmm.
We were shooting communists in trees if they dared come out of the trees to try to, get at our soldiers 10,000 miles away in Vietnam. Okay. And here, communism was not a threat at home. Today, Europe has fallen. New York City has fallen. Los Angeles has fallen. New York City's not fallen yet, but it looks like it might. Los Angeles has fallen. Seattle has fallen. There are communists. We have communist mayors of Los Angeles and New York. And even though Pritzker in Illinois is not a communist, he acts like one. And we have a communist, the mayor of Seattle. So we have communists ruling our cities and some of our states.
Now you're aware
we are losing this struggle, and I know you disagree with me. Los Angeles, you say Los Angeles hasn't fallen. Los Angeles has burned. We have a communist mayor. The city's burning. You know the story of Rome and Nero fiddled while Rome burned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's safe to say Rome was falling at that point, was it not?
Right.
Los Angeles has fallen. New York is on the verge of falling. Our city, we have our Muslim and ideology freaks have nothing to do with American values. Have now infiltrated our media, our schools, our colleges.
Okay,
we are in big trouble, and the only way out is a civil war. So go ahead, tell me how I'm wrong.
The image you're creating, it's like it's a post-apocalyptic scene after a nuclear bomb hits a place. And that's not.
Have you been to Seattle, sir? Have you been to Seattle in the last few years?
Yes, I have.
You've been downtown Seattle?
I think I was just driving through.
Okay, I was there for an entire morning on literally on June 1st of 2024, waiting for a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Me and my son, his friend, my girlfriend, her and their kid, our sons were there. Okay. And I'll tell you right now, going through downtown, this was a Saturday morning, about 9-10 o'clock in the morning. It looked like The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Other than the zombies, there was trash blowing around. There was nobody around. I would love to have a video camera still shot or a film of about 1 hour of a typical Saturday morning, 10 a.m. on say 1985 versus what I saw in 2024. I guarantee you wouldn't believe it. You'd probably poop yourself.
Okay? I poop myself right there on the street.
The city has fallen.
Yeah, no.
Now I know. Maybe in the suburbs they're not so bad. Okay, maybe in some of the outskirts of Seattle you don't see much of a difference.
Other parts of the city as well. Again, I emphasize it's limited to a certain area.
But we didn't have it at all.
Overemphasized. And Washington is a particularly bad example because
what about these no-go zones? What about
we got the longest time?
We got no-go zones all over the country where Muslims literally rule the area. And from that, you know what they do? They consider that to be their territory.
Not all over the country.
No, but look, even in one place is enough for us all to be scared. Because you know what they do? That's not enough. They take those little areas and then they consider that to be their new homeland, and then the rest of the areas where we all live becomes the war zone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's how they say just a few areas. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, Court. You're starting to sound like Jeff Rogers when it comes to voter integrity. It's just a little here and there. It's not just, that's what they say. It's just a little here and there. Oh, just a couple of places. Court, you got to wake up on this one, buddy. It is a big problem.
Well,
And the only way out is civil war. We're not gonna, or we're gonna have to have a major election victories, and I don't know. So this is a very big problem.
Victories. So speaking
of
major,
chance.
All right. Well, anyway, so on that note, I wish Selena would just, we seem to be having trouble getting that sheet. Okay, I don't understand why.
Oh, what sheet? The attendance sheet?
No, the one that Selena has and yours.
What, the name roster?
Yeah,
the one I showed you this morning.
Wait, you sent
the one I showed you this morning?
Yes, it was on the computer. Did you?
Yeah, I can get it to you. I know. It's on my laptop.
Okay.
And that laptop.
As soon as we're done here, please
I'll get it to you.
Okay.
I'll get it to you. I promise.
All right. In the meantime, though, there is also the database. This stupid Google Drive. It's on Google Drive or Google Sheets, right?
Yes, and we should make it a point. We need to make it a point. It's not worthless. We need to make it a point to talk with Gabby about that on Monday when we see her.
Okay. I'm going to be bitching and moaning. The Google Drive, I hate it. It's far simpler. You just have a spreadsheet that we can all access without all this other drama.
What drama?
Google, the Gmail account.
Court, we're way ahead of you.
I've been able to access it because it's locked inside one place.
None of us like Google, okay? That's all we had that was free. Unless you want to spend $10,000 on a network.
No.
Look, there's another one called
a spreadsheet.
You're complaining about something that we all agree with you on already.
Yeah.
Okay, we hate Google, okay? There's another one called OC something.
OBS.
Yes, we're going to go to that. It's
all
something
right,
we have to talk about with Gabby
OBS.
on Monday, not here live right now.
Fine enough.
Okay.
Fine enough.
Well, it's not that's going to be productive tonight.
All right. So let me get to the point.
Yes, sir.
You were worried. I think you threw out a big number. I believe that big number was 80.
80 vacant seats.
Right.
Is that correct?
That they used a number 40%. 40% of all the seats. So that would be
60.
Right. That's
that
close
would be 60.
To yes. Nonetheless, it's still bigger than it should be.
Well, it was 40 last time, and that's worse.
When you look at the historical average, it's bad every year, okay? But when you look at the historical average from election cycle to election cycle, Republicans do not have candidates in somewhere between 20 and 25 districts out of 151. Okay,
last
so you got
40. This time it's 60 so far.
Yeah, it's a lot worse. Okay, so there's a person I've mentioned his name, John Samperi.
Yes.
John Samperi is heads up a Republican as you're ever going to find.
Yes, I've met him.
And he explained to me that he's been tracking it as well. And what's happening is, as expected, is the deadline for candidates is picking up. More of them are showing up and taking the spots. So we're approaching the historical average. It's still too big, okay, but we're approaching the historical average of 20 to 25 unchallenged seats.
Okay, well, that's good news because that's an improvement from the 40 of last time.
Okay, that said, I would still like to focus on
25
towns. Yeah, why they don't have candidates. We want to find out what their problem is.
So can Samperi tell you what the ones that aren't looking good so far are? So because that's a smaller number that we can focus on.
We need the list. Okay.
Well, can he supply that?
Well, I send it a note to Connecticut GOP. Send us a list. Haven't seen it yet. Okay. So all this goes. All right. So anyway, just to go through it, my three big titles tonight are Fraud Nation.
Wait. Before we get to that, real quick.
Yes.
See, I think of things in terms of a spreadsheet. Everything's in terms of, like with the Iraq thing. It was weapons of mass destruction. We cover the whole country. Don't just I want to say the same thing. If we can get enough volunteer help, which I think we're on the verge of getting, someone can just go on the web and literally look up, set aside the districts that we already know that people are running in for us, whatever's left, 190 or whatever. You go through those one by one, and if somebody's running, there's going to be something about them running on the internet, and if there's not, it'll come up with nothing, and that's our list. To rely on the state, the GOP to come through with a list for us is like relying on Ben to come on our show. I mean,
And where are you going to find the factual information on the status of these races?
On the web using AI.
Where?
We have 151
No.
districts. You don't understand what I'm talking about? We have 151
I
districts.
understand all too well what you're talking about.
And that's how we can find out those 25 that are still, if Sam Perry is what he says is
Are you
true.
sitting in front of a computer right now?
No, not one I can use while I'm talking to you.
Okay, we'll hear. I'm going to do it while we're talking.
No, you can't. That's not something you can sit and do here on our show.
AI, okay.
You're gonna have to take a whole someone's gonna have to take an entire afternoon and
Which
just buzz through every one of them. And that's where our profiles come in.
Districts in Connecticut remain unfilled by Republicans.
Oh, I don't know what's gonna know that or not.
Well, you just said that it did.
That's not what I said.
What did you say?
I'm talking about literally sitting down and Googling District 1, Connecticut, enter. Oh, boy, a Republican state Connecticut representative District 1 race, enter. What's going on? Oh, that's John Smith running. Next one. State Connecticut District number 2, enter.
AI is not going to give you that information.
The Google can do that. You don't even need the AI for that.
All right, I'm on Google.
If you're running for state representative, aren't you going to have something online that says so?
Okay, as you speak so passionately about this, then you should be able to run the query to get the information. To identify the unfilled state representative districts in Connecticut for Republicans, consider the following points. This is what the all-knowing AI summary from the all-knowing internet has provided us. District 1, vacant. District 2, vacant. District 3, vacant. District 4, vacant. District 5, vacant. District 6, vacant. And that's as far as it gets, okay?
That's already wrong.
What? Who's running? You
said we're getting down to where we only have about 25 to 30 or whatever left. If the first 6 are all vacant, the odds are telling me that's not right.
Okay.
At least one of those will have somebody.
Those are the specific districts.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Do you know where District 1
is? Greasework. I'm talking about
where is District 1? Where's District 1?
I have no idea where the district
are by number. Okay.
Okay.
So where's District 2?
Okay. I don't know. West Hartford.
Next to Hartford. Okay. So I'm not sure you understand what you're complaining about.
I'm talking about taking the time to look up each district's race separately on a regular Google search. Forget about this AI crap. And then seeing what it says. That's all. District number 97, 2026 state representative, enter. And if somebody's running, it'll show you their name. And if there's nobody running, there won't be anything there, or it won't have anything there. If you can't, let's pretend you're trying to identify each candidate and you just look them up one by one. It'll take you 3 hours to do it. You look up each one, and then you have a little piece of paper in your hand. You check off, and the ones that you couldn't find anybody are probably the ones that don't have anybody running. In other words, if I'm running for one of the districts, anybody is going to have some kind of a website or some kind of something online that says, hey, I'm running against this guy, that you would find. And if you don't find anything, you could then presume either probably nobody's running, or whoever's running is so incompetent that they might as well not be. Okay. And I think if you took the time and looked up all 151 separately, that means that you could come up with a pretty accurate depiction of what's still vacant.
All they're going to give you is the incumbent.
They're going to no. If somebody's running a campaign, it'll say that they're running the campaign on Google search somewhere, or on a GPT even. It'll tell you the day that you decide to run. You're going to start. Okay, let's put up a website. Let's put up a Facebook profile at least. And a search would bring that about. You see where I'm going with it now? It falls elbow grease.
The problem is that the internet does not always give you the most current information. You'll get stuff from 2024 and stuff like that.
Not always in the right order. That's true.
Not just the right order at all. Okay, so no.
Are you suggesting that if let's say tomorrow I decided to run for the district, 38th district, and I put in all my paperwork, and I got a little online presence and started running my campaign, that if a week later you or me, someone else would try to look me up as the candidate, you wouldn't be able to find me. It just wouldn't be there.
Yep.
It just wouldn't be there at all.
Yep.
I don't agree.
Okay. You give the internet too much credit. Okay, so I just said you just said District 97. So I've asked the question: who's
No,
running?
no, no. So if I put my went out of my way to put myself out there
You
online,
just said if you do individual searches, and you
yes,
randomly threw out the number 97,
yes, you did one. What'd you get?
only the incumbent.
What did you type in for the Google search?
Who is running in State Representative District 97 in Connecticut? Who is running? Okay, not as
Well, why don't you
advertised.
type who's the Republican running in District 97? Try who's the Republican running in District 97? Huh?
Right. That is either a search. I mean, maybe on the SEEC. Here, let me just see. Try another thing. All right. Can the S, come on, you.
I would like to think if you're running for a spot in the state legislature that you would have some kind of online presence.
Candidates for state office. Let's see here. And the answer is to find the most recent candidates, consider this. Visit the official state election website for up-to-date information.
Which gets us right back to where we started.
Yeah, this is,
which is just what they want.
Check this. So the information is out there somewhere. We're just banging our heads against the wall trying to find it.
Yeah, because the World Wide Web is a free-for-all. If you're a candidate running, you're going to have something out there.
Okay.
Maybe 97's vacant. Through 98.
Okay, let's change the subject to fraud.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I'll put up my fraud list. Here we go. Okay, so the point is that fraud in America, and here's, by the way, I put it on the bottom, but it's the H-1B visa fraud that really triggered me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We know about all the other fraud. I'm just going to talk about the H-1B visa fraud for a minute. Okay. We have a recent update on what's going on with fraud, H-1B visa fraud. The Department of Justice, I believe, or Department of Homeland Security, has busted a huge fraudulent H-1B visa operation, which I believe, has offices both in America and in India. All right.
Mm-hmm.
11 universities in India have conspired to produce fake graduation certificates for a fee anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000. Okay, and then the recipient of that fake certificate turns around and applies as an H-1B candidate to be let into America. Okay, that's part one. All right, do we smell some fraud yet? It's a little some in the air. 100,000 fraud certificates were found. 100,000. All right. Are you getting upset yet? I'm upset.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm almost getting numb to this. It's crazy.
More. Yeah. Well, we shouldn't. We can't.
No, I won't. But it's just unbelievable.
There's more. All right.
I'm sure.
The people who got these certificates and ended up being hired in the United States were only hired, as it turns out, into entry-level positions. If anything reeks of fraud, the notion, this is the fraud by the corporations. First, you got the fraud that's being committed by the people who are applying for the visa. Then you have the fraud being committed by the corporations that hire them, right? And then you have you have non-governmental organizations and federal agencies who are also in on the scam, in a manner of speaking, because all they do is mindlessly follow the rules.
Are there any honest people left around or no?
Are there any what?
Are there any honest people left other than just a few?
Just you and me. That's it.
You and me and a few. There's a few in there. Like Marco Rubio's an honest guy, I think.
Yes. Okay. So, see, where are we up to now? The fraud, the hiring fraud, the certificate fraud. There's another part to this. I can't think of it right now, but you get the idea. And these people need to be prosecuted. They need to go to jail. They need to pay huge fines. Okay. But even with the big part of the problem is, if you remember, maybe it was about a year ago, I forget, You had President Trump saying nice things about the H-1B visa program because tech bros got to him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's going to have to change his tune. I think he did start to change his tune, but not nearly enough. No. With stuff like this has to be shut down, ended, terminated, eliminated, vaporized, drawn and quartered. Get rid of it. And I don't understand. Yes, okay. I can hear the wailing and gnashing of teeth in the corporate IT departments around the country. Well, tough. Tough. All right. You people, how dare you? So here's the other thing. Notice that there's more fraud to talk about.
Fraud.
But we have the housing market shakeup.
Lowest of the low.
Okay.
That's a big one, Corey. That gets directly to the heart of the battle between the state and the family. So go ahead on that one. That's a big one.
Okay. Well, it turns out that deportations are lowering rental and home prices significantly in Texas for openers.
That's good.
All
Hopefully
right.
it translates to Connecticut eventually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Connecticut has a problem.
We have our own housing problem for sure.
Here, well, yes, we do. We big time. And I can't resist telling the story quickly. Okay, so my client, she should remain unnamed to the public here, but I've been trying to. She's on the low end of the market. She's looking for anything, a flipper, anything she can get into because she wants to buy a house. She's tired of being a renter like so many other people.
I understand that. I feel the same way almost.
Okay, so I came across, so her range is 150,000. I actually found for her a house in
Connecticut for 150,000?
No. It gets better. In Thomaston for $53,000.
Wow, does it have a bathroom?
Well, it's got to, but it was built
Does it have walls?
Built in 1943, 672 square feet.
Well, what's the catch?
Okay. On being that old, there's got to be problems. Okay, and I think they wanted to sell it as is.
So it needs a lot of work. Probably needs $150,000 worth of work to it.
When a house is that small, not even 700 square feet, whatever significant repair work needs to be done, it's not going to be that expensive. Okay, and there are quote workarounds as well in order to save money on these things.
Sure.
Okay. And the other part is that the property it's on I forget if it was a half or 3/4 acre lot. So it's this tiny little shack on a relatively big lot. Okay. So I was all excited. And so I told her, and you say, we got to jump on this. We got to get a showing. And by the time I got back to it, the house was under contract.
Oh, geez. Well, I would imagine at that price.
The house was on the market for 4 days. Okay, some crappy little shack out in the middle of nowhere in Thomaston, Connecticut. Go figure. All right. So that just tells you how desperate people are to find a house.
Well, I got news for you. There's a house that we bid on. This is 4 years ago.
Yeah.
There was a house in Tallinn that we bid on.
Yeah.
We went to look at to buy.
Yeah.
And it was for I believe they were asking for 310,000 for it.
Yeah.
That house was on the market for less than 2 weeks, and somebody offered 340.
Right.
So people are offering. What people don't realize, if you haven't been in the housing market, is back in the day, if you put up a house for a certain price, usually you probably could expect maybe to get that price. A lot of times you have to come down on the price. Today, if you put a house on the market for a certain price, chances are you're going to get more than what you asked for.
Well, chances are, but you're going to find that there will be cases where there's actually a price decrease in order to sell the house. Something, some bad thing is found out about the house after the negotiation process begins.
That's not the typical these days, though. That's not the typical.
What are you going to call? I know typical. What are you going to call typical? Every sale is unique.
Any house that's in moving condition right now, people are bidding above what the asking price is for.
Mm-hmm. No,
and that's not a normal. That's not a normal. You're a real estate guy. Tell me, is that the way the market should normally be? It's usually not quite like that.
Okay, it depends upon. You have the classic lineup: seller's market or a buyer's market. Okay, if it's a seller's market, it's going to be bid up. If it's a buyer's market, it's going to be bid down.
Okay, a seller's market is bad for families.
Yeah, you could say that. It's a fair
So
statement.
I believe Marxists and communists have infiltrated and tried to manipulate our housing market and trying to turn it into a seller's market for that reason, to help to discourage young people from buying houses or be able to buy houses, which in turn disgruntles them and makes them into socialists.
I'm beginning to think your father is really Joseph McCarthy.
No, Joseph McCarthy was a hero in my mind.
Okay, well, there
He was a
you
man
go.
ahead of his time. He realized. Now he was a little paranoid. I'll give you that. But he
Yes.
was right about the threat, the constant threat that was coming.
Hmm. Yes, and as we know, he was right, even though he had the leftists and progressives trying to throw spitballs at him left and right, and sully his character, etc.
Hmm.
And by the way, remember the name of his lawyer?
No, I do not remember the name of his lawyer.
Cohen. Cohen.
Oh, Cohen. Okay, I've heard of Cohen,
Yes.
but okay.
That same Cohen. Would you like to know who that same Cohen was a mentor to for many years?
Tell us.
Donald Trump.
Ah,
Yes, they were tight.
they're all people that hate communists. Then I'm with them. I'm in that club. Join me. I hate communists. I hate Marxists. And Lori Kavanaugh, right?
Yeah.
She
Oh,
hates Marxists to the point of
geez.
insanity.
No, nobody can touch her. As far
She's
as,
my kind of girl, man.
yeah.
Did she ever call you back?
No, I have to go and go
Gotta-
after her again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do one of these.
Might even be a personal trip.
You know what? Just ask her to attend one of our team meetings that are not this one on Monday, but one coming up. Just ask her to attend one of those. If she's not convinced, then we'll let her leave her alone.
All right. I'll try.
Okay.
It's good enough. All right. So we have touched on the housing market. And let me just mention the other factoid for the audience is that there's a ratio between the number of houses on the market at any given time and the total housing stock. So that would be all the single family homes, all the condominiums, the co-ops, multifamily homes, apartment buildings. Okay.
Yeah, all residences.
All right. So every state you have so many houses that are on the market and so much that makes up the housing stock. Connecticut, it's 0.3%.
What you're saying is that means, now just to translate, that means 0.3% of all houses built in Connecticut are on the market
at any given time. Yes.
Okay.
And
That's
that
a small
makes
number.
Connecticut the worst in the nation.
And what's a healthy number in that area? 1%?
Yeah, I would say 1 to 1.5%.
Yeah.
That's what you want to. It's what you want to see.
Yep.
Yeah, around 1.5.
In the world. Okay.
Yeah. So it just Connecticut is the Northeast, for that matter, is a world all its own as far as the real estate market is concerned. Yeah. Anyway, so I just had to bring that up. And the other thing is that people aren't talking about. I need to bring up the name Bill Pulte. Does the name Bill Pulte mean anything to you?
No.
Okay, so first of all, Bill Pulte is the CEO of Pulte Homes. It's a publicly owned construction company specializing in building new homes for people in the country. They have lots of competitors: Taylor Homes, Lenner.
They do tiny homes?
Horton. What?
They do tiny homes?
If asked, yes.
Okay.
But they, as we know, for everybody, you have to build the more expensive homes. It's more profitable.
Sure.
I haven't done it yet. They say that, but I really wonder about that. Now, let's see. So did
it would
JK
make sense.
here? Hey, JK. Sorry, I didn't respond to this. And complex in Colorado. You wouldn't happen to be referring to Trendy now, young man, would you? Hey. All right. Strange. We are free associating tonight. Okay. Anyway, Mr. Pulte has suddenly been thrust into national prominence because President Trump decided that he wanted to take this person who was appointed to head up federal housing agencies and pull him over to be the director of national intelligence. As we know, unfortunately, Tulsi Gabbard husband is a horrible case. It's a rare bone cancer. And so she has to resign. She's going to do everything to support him, help him.
I heard that he had some successful. I heard he had successful surgery recently. It's going to help him out.
With cancer, I would not get too excited.
Okay? Well, I understand bone cancer, especially. Okay.
Yeah. So it remains to be seen. And if she comes back, who knows? Or she'll have some other role. But the point is that Pulte is supposed to take her place, and everybody's upset because he doesn't have any national security experience. And he's basically seen as a hatchet man who's going to get rid of all the deep state cretins that are still in DNI.
Good. That's our guy.
Well, he is our guy. Absolutely. So there we go. As far as that's concerned. In the meantime, you have, so there again, we're the DNI stuff. It's almost like a shiny object. If we're really concerned about this economy in the nation, and we know that housing is one of the key cornerstones for prosperity for families in the middle class. Okay,
young people trying to start a family.
This is his pond. This is where Bill Pulte swims. Okay, and so here he has been working to figure out ways in which to lower the cost of housing, make it more accessible. I mean, I have to say that when you look at the different loan programs, FHA, HUD, even the Department of Agriculture and others, they're trying. Okay, they're trying in terms of having terms and conditions for these mortgages that make it accessible for people who are don't have as much money. 3% down. Normally, you expected to have 20% down, but here you have a federal program with 3% down.
Well, let me ask you this question. Now, we all know that the price of housing is one of the obstacles, but the down payment, is overlooked as a huge obstacle to young couples or young people trying to buy a home. Okay. My understanding, tell me if I'm right or wrong about this. Back in the day, in the 80s, 70s, it took about 1 week's salary or 2 weeks' salary to put the down payment on a house, whereas now it's like 3 months' salary.
No, that wouldn't be right. The standard rule has been 20% down.
But my point is,
so when 20% down is not going to 20% down is going to be more like
20% down.
Three or 4 months of salary.
My parents bought our house in Vernon for $67,000. So 20% of that is what, $13,000?
Right.
Or the FHA on that, because the FHA loan is what at that point, like $1,800.
I don't know. I have to do the calculator.
Right. So now that same house is $350,000. So 20% of that is $70,000. That's a lot. And even an FHA loan, even a 3% loan on a $350,000 is still, over $10,000, which is unattainable. So the down payment is really one of the major obstacles. Okay, maybe I was wrong about the exact numbers. Can you agree with me that coming up with the cash for a conventional down payment or even an FHA down payment is a lot more difficult now for a family than it was then, in terms of percentage of income? Okay,
the mere fact that houses are more expensive makes the case enough.
I agree.
Expensive, and whatever the down payment is almost doesn't matter. But again,
well, now listen, it matters to a young couple trying to save up for a house.
There's a big difference between 3%. Okay, a 3%. I think it's FHA loans can offer 3%.
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
But even the difference between 3% of say $150,000, which would be I think a healthy price for a modest home, would be what's that, $4,500?
Okay, so
$15,000. I mean,
well, you got to include points. They have all those closing points.
Sure,
which annoys
that's another factor.
Okay, so the other thing is they have a program called Time to Own, and Time to Own has been, I think, a brilliant idea. It's they will give a first-time homeowner up to $25,000. Which there are different terms, but one term would be over a 5-year period. And so every year they would forgive $5,000 of the $25,000 until after 5 years, the whole loan would be forgiven, so long as you stay in the same place.
And you make your payments, obviously.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So by virtue of staying in the same place, also you're building up equity. And that's the big thing, is
stability. That's great. That's a great program because solves the problem I just described. It helps people with their down payments.
Yeah. So it's out there.
People don't know about it, I don't think.
Well, I mean, if someone comes into my orbit, I get to tell them about it. If somebody gets to be my client, hint, hint, hint. Yes, I'll tell you about that and more in terms of.
Is that a government program or private? Sorry? Is that a government program or a private program?
It is a state program. At least in Connecticut, we have it as a state program. The state tries to allocate X amount of dollars from the budget. So here we are complaining, right, about our government overspending, yet they will make money available for something like this. And we say, gee, that's a pretty good idea. I don't know.
Well, listen, the fiscal conservative in me says that's unfair to the taxpayer to pay for somebody. Here, people can't afford their own home and they're paying for somebody else to do it. But on the other hand, if you're going to do a government program, that's a good. That's going to help. That if I say it's the battle between the state and the family, where there's one program that, can help families. So.
All right. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make here,
all
right. The point I'm trying to make here is that Bill Pulte, in his time at, it's the Federal Housing Finance Agency, I think that's the name of it, has been working on things that we haven't heard about yet, but we will. And of course, the big thing, get ready for this, is that for the longest time, we've had the two kahunas of the housing mortgage market. That would be Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, right? They have been in conservatorship, AKA bankrupt. So there's been all this talk about trying to get them back out on the market. If these companies went public, are you ready for the market value?
Probably 10 trillion.
Not bad. 5 trillion. So here we're oohing and eyeing over what's going on with SpaceX with a valuation of 1.5 trillion. And you have this monster sitting in the sidelines. 5 trillion.
They're bankrupt, yet they're worth 5 trillion. Go figure. Only in America.
Right. Well, the notion is that they're under the protection of the financial protection of the federal government. And so how they got that way, this is something I would need to understand. If you get, I know this is getting into the weeds a little bit. This is getting into the weeds. But if you want to study the history of the mortgage market, go back to the 20s and 30s, right? Go back to when Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae were first created, which was about that time. Okay, they were created in order to meet a certain need, in order to enable people to achieve home ownership. And I think it worked for a while, but then they got into trouble. And so that's been the case ever since, as far as that's concerned. Anyway, all right, so I've got that off of my chest for now. Let's go back to the fraud part. Oh, God, do we have to talk about Iran? Did you watch those videos at all that I sent you?
No, I did not, sir.
I
know. I knew you were going to be. Okay, I want you to understand something. I work all the time. I worked all morning. I went down to see you. I came back here. I took a 1 hour nap. I got up. I have to work my administrative all the way until 7:30.
5 minutes.
Then I literally had 1 hour to eat and spend time with my girl before I got on the air with you. There's no time to watch. I'll tell you why. I clicked on the video, but as soon as I saw it was 49 minutes long, I clicked it right back off. I just don't have time.
All you have to do is listen to a little of it. You get the flavor. That's all you need. Okay. All right, we'll get to that.
Tomorrow I can peruse it a little bit because tomorrow's my day off.
Yes. Meantime, all right, the election fraud in California. This is infuriating. What's being done to Spencer Pratt is absolutely criminal. Have you been following this?
Up until the last, yes. Up until the last 24 hours, yes, but not in the last 24. I know what they're doing to him.
So whoever that
vote count thing you're talking about, right?
What?
The way they're prolonging the vote count.
Well, that's one part. The other part is while it's being prolonged, guess who's getting no votes and guess who's getting more votes?
Bass is getting all the votes.
No.
Oh.
The one
in third place
behind him.
To overtake him to second, to rock him out.
Right. Okay. This is fraud in your face.
Yeah.
I just that they're getting away with.
Can't the federal government do something to stop that?
What?
Can't the federal government do something to stop it?
Supposedly they are. Supposedly the Supreme Court might weigh in this, but I'm not holding my breath.
Has somebody filed a suit with the Supreme Court? That's what Pratt should do.
I would have to assume it was Spencer Pratt.
Okay. I hope he's doing that because it is absolutely fraud. And the key operative thing of what you said is fraud. It's not fraud. It's in your face. It's literally, yes, we're committing fraud.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. All right.
Yeah, we're doing
stand there and you can bitch and moan, but we're going to keep manufacturing.
They're going to do the same thing with the governor. They're going to do the same thing with the governor's race too. Yes,
that's right. So there's I think these are the moments where I begin to side with you a little bit more on
Yeah,
this
California has
about
fallen. It
civil
has
war.
fallen.
Civil war.
It has fallen. California has fallen
No.
to communists and Marxists. It is run by communists and Marxists who are openly defying election law in our faces. Letting
Okay.
cities
Well,
burn.
maybe
What else
things
do you
that we
want?
have to defy then. You know.
I'll tell you what. What do they have to do? Do they have to start just bringing out their state militia and start shooting down people in the streets for us to finally believe that we've lost California? Is that what it's going to take for people to realize that it's lost?
No, I'm going to say I don't know. I don't see that being an answer, quite frankly.
It's almost that
Okay?
bad at this point. And here's what I think should happen.
Mm-hmm.
California's statehood should be revoked.
Well, there's an interesting idea.
And the federal government should move in and take over temporarily, of course, the operation of the state for a 6 to 12 month period to make sure that everything's in line with the United States Constitution.
I think you just came up with a great rallying cry. We're going to use it.
Revoke California
California. Right. Okay.
We go in there and fix it, just like we did with the South. It's not much. It's really not a lot different.
Yeah. All right.
The only difference is they haven't openly seceded. They haven't voted in their legislature to secede, but they're behaving as if they had.
Yep.
And that's probably part of their strategy, by the way.
Yeah.
Sad.
Let me move on to this other stuff. So this is just a review. All right. So I mean, it's the totality of this. We got election fraud, daycare fraud, home health care fraud, hospice fraud, H-1B visa fraud.
Hospice
the amount of fraud. I mean, you could take the Medicare fraud alone. All right. I didn't even put that one up there. It's out of control. All right. It's just the magnitude of all this fraud. It's to the point where you have the federal government saying there's more fraud than we can prosecute. Well, you got to do something about it. You can't just let them keep doing it.
You got to start prosecuting it. I'll tell you what, if you start prosecuting it, even if it's, I know what they're saying, it probably is rampant. But you start prosecuting people, then some of other people stop because they don't want to get prosecuted as well. So that's how you do it.
All right.
Well, start going for it.
Another diagram that I would have liked to have made would be two circles, okay, overlapping like a Venn diagram. So fraud would be one circle, illegals would be the other. Now the question is, how much of the illegal population overlaps with the fraud?
You could probably almost put those two circles together.
It sure seems like it. But yeah, so this, because again, I mean, just to make the point, so much of this fraud is due to people who are foreigners. They are not Americans. They don't like this country, but they sure like to take our money.
And yet, who's the one person that got prosecuted and thrown in jail in Minnesota?
I don't remember.
One person got prosecuted and is being thrown in jail in Minnesota for all that fraud in Minnesota. It's a white American woman, citizen.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Right. No, it's all right. It's called, we have to keep up the pressure. It's the best I can say.
I know. Well, no, increase the pressure, really.
This is a rallying call for Yankee T News and for CSNE. Rallying call.
Viva Revolution, man. That's the only way.
All right. This is the part where you point to your sign behind you. Yeah, right there. CSNE. Got it, audience? CSNE.
News Entertainment coming in color soon. Oh, by the way, I just want to say this hopefully will be the last podcast we're doing like this with this technological setup.
Yeah.
The plan is to upgrade our technological setup from my standpoint at least, and create, first of all, you louder, because right now your voice is only being recorded off my computer, which makes it not as loud, although you talk loud enough to make it work. But
yes, I do.
Yeah, this will increase it to a more stereo professional sounding level. And so, yeah, you'll see an upgrade hopefully by the next time we come on, that I'm on, which will be.
So you're talking about Tuesday.
Tuesday, yes, sir.
All right, we'll see. Okay, so that's my bitch-ammonia about the fraud. I might as well just take this.
Let's talk about Iran. We got about 15 minutes left to talk about Iran from Iran.
Yeah. Okay.
Iran from Iran.
All right. So, what you missed? Okay, as far as Iran is concerned,
whatever I missed, it was today. I didn't do today. I probably missed.
Students are out in the streets demonstrating.
Ooh.
Okay. After all your bitching and moaning, after all your worrying, after all your kvetching.
Finally.
Okay.
Now, wait. Hopefully, our Air Force is protecting those students.
No, they're just out there doing. I
Are they going to
mean,
get shot down?
depends on how long they keep it up for. Okay.
Well, no, it depends on what kind of backing they have.
All right. So here's the problem, or
Okay.
not the problem. Here's the opportunity. Okay. When I see if I can find that chart. Let me see if I can put it up again. I want to find that.
You know what? You want to hear here's a big picture irony for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to? The irony is our teenagers, our spoiled, rotten teenagers here, are rioting in the streets on behalf of Marxism, while the teenagers in Iran, apparently much far better educated than our teenagers, are rallying in the streets for freedom.
Right. Okay. Let's go back to the Trump table for Iran. All right.
Okay.
All right.
That's one.
All right. So the one I want to focus on is keep them guessing. All right. So keep them guessing is a nice way of saying psyops. Now we don't normally think of our president as leading a psyop operation, but let me just remind you of a little story. Okay. There was a scandal in New York City when Donald Trump was, a real estate developer. And the press was constantly getting trolled by some person who was dropping them all kinds of juicy information. All right. This is driving the press nuts in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
It was never proven that the person who was trolling them was Donald Trump.
Really?
Consider the possibilities. All right. So he got some hell of an on-the-job training experience in New York City working the press, okay, and being able to use that now because it's the same game, okay, trolling the press.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I admit I'm a little annoyed, okay, it was the same game. Well, I cannot do a Donald Trump accent, but, I got a call from this really nice Mideastern leader from, what was it, Bob? Qatar, Bahrain, I'm trying to remember. That would be Bin Bad Ass Salim Ming Dang Dimidar. Well, after listening very carefully to him, I decided that I wanted to honor his concerns. I did tell him that originally, Bin Badass Sing Dang Sam Salir, I was going to bomb these bastards starting tomorrow. So I'm glad you called. I'm so glad you called. So now I've decided to put it off for a while. You were very persuasive.
Well, I know the fighting.
How many times has he done this? Okay. How many times?
Mm-hmm.
Right. A lot. Okay. And it's getting tiresome. It's like, here we go again. It's almost like he's running out of ideas when it comes to, trolling people. All right. So, this is what
I guess the fighting has increased in the last couple of days, I believe.
It has. And the other part that people keep forgetting is that he did originally say there was a 60-day time limit. Okay. Yeah. In the course of that 60 days, there's been a lot of roundabout and back and forth. But guess what? We're coming up on the 60 days.
Yeah.
All right.
There's been talk about another 60, though, too.
Well, yeah, he's done that before as well. Yes. Okay.
Well, you and I both agree, even though our methodology isn't exactly the same, we both agree that the mullah has to collapse at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that said, I'm trying to remember who made the point. I think it was
the end of the 47-year war, which is what the point of I thought the objective of this was.
Yeah. No, look, I think we have to a couple of things. One, the Iranian government continues to be beset. There are, quote, there are rising waters of problems around them, almost literally. Restlessness in the streets, going to get worse.
No money.
Yeah, money's getting tougher.
Oil reserves are overflowing, I believe now, right?
As well. That's getting worse. Okay, so all these things are hitting them. And they're trying to hold on as best they can. So they got these secret shipments coming in through different ports, but it's a trickle.
They like to talk tough, though. They like to talk tough, though. We got the bomb. We're,
Yeah.
American people use our money. And
go ahead. See what that gets you.
A bunch of old. You guys are evil, and you got to go. Evil must be. You must face evil with aggression. You can't just let it fester.
Well, that's a fine piece of advice that I would want to apply to Connecticut.
Yeah, apply to our state legislature.
Okay, there have been some pretty hard-hitting videos coming out going after Lamont, and I think we're going to see more as far as that's concerned. But all right, so all these things are starting to take their toll, and it's the kind of thing where I have to ask, what can we expect in the next few days? What dramatic events are going to unfold? There was this report of an Iranian ship that was sunk, right? Well, which ship? What was this ship? Was it a freighter? What was it? We don't know. We're just told that it was an Iranian ship and that it was sunk.
Well, there's a lot of we don't know that's over there. That's for sure.
Well,
I would submit for even people that are over there that what might be going on in one part of Iran may something totally different in another.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, Israel's not doing themselves any favors here. So there was another article about how President Trump. So, like you were saying the other night, you're right. Okay. All these countries expect to spy on each other, even if they're allies. Okay. But there's still a sense of sort of like a limit. Okay, you spy up to a certain degree.
Yeah, there's a certain decor that goes to it if you're allies. That's correct.
And it seems that the Israelis are passing that level of decorum pretty quickly. Enough to upset Trump, so the article said. Okay.
Where did this article come from?
Oh, let's see if I've got it here. Oh, come on, give me a minute. Nope, not that one.
What do you?
That one. Not this one. Not that one. No. But here, let me just do a quick search to see. Israel spying too much on America.
Hey, what do you think of the CT Examiner?
The CT Examiner. Now, there's one. I think it's I forget them confused. It's either the Mirror or the Examiner that gets credit for being probably the most objective paper in the state. I just can't remember which one it is.
Okay, because if it's the Examiner, I have a point of contact there. A guy I know that I used to know as a investigator manager of my old company that I just connected with recently. I'll talk to you about him later.
Okay.
I won't drop his name on live right now.
Okay, so here's the headline: Trump administration reportedly alarmed by Israel's spying getting too close to Iran negotiations.
Yeah, you know what? I don't blame Israel, because if I'm Israel, I'm concerned that Trump is going to make some kind of a deal that allows Iran's mullah government to continue. And that if I was a director of intelligence or prime minister of Israel, I would look at that as a betrayal.
I disagree. I think. All right.
You're not in Israel getting bombed every for 45 years. That's why.
Okay. Well, here's the problem. Okay. They're not discussed, but out of the corner of his eye, you can be damn sure that Trump is keeping a close watch on this.
Sure.
Oil prices and the economy. Okay. If the second he starts to carry on about regime change, you can count on $200 a barrel of oil.
So he's got to make it happen first before he talks about it.
He has to keep the happy talk going in order to keep oil prices under control.
And while hopefully collapsing the regime from a more secretive position.
That's right. So let's go back to the image of a boa constrictor. Okay. And so he's got the economy wrapped up tight, and bit by bit they're being suffocated. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this process, because the stock market is watching every single move that he's making in the Mideast. So they're going to have to make a decision about whether or not the risk level is becoming unacceptable for them. Now, there's another thing here to throw into the discussion. We don't have enough time, but Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, all these guys who are affected by the Iranians trying to shut down Hormuz are, scrambling for every possible way to bypass having to ship through that area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if they have to suddenly go out and buy a bunch of trucks and ship across the desert to the Red Sea or whatever it is they need to do, they're going to do it.
Right.
All right. So I wouldn't be surprised if a certain amount of that is already happening. Okay. So all of this kind of takes the wind out of Iran's sails if they're going to try and regulate shipping in the Hormuz.
Well, that's good. I
Right.
never doubted the Donald for a minute, although I get frustrated.
Okay, but we come back to the other point that we just had here earlier, that there is this foot race, okay, between the negative economic impacts on Iran of not being able to ship their oil versus the negative economic impacts of the other countries not being able to get their products out through the strait, or they're limited in terms of how much they can get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it becomes a function of how much Iran is able to interfere. So, yeah, I mean, my sense is that Iran can get away with this for quite some time. You know, in other words, if you think of everything as a status quo, all right, we keep interdicting the ships through the strait, all right, we keep the sanctions, you know, what is it, Operation Economic Fury, keeps finding other ways to deprive Iran of getting money. So all that's just kind of moving along at a certain pace.
Yeah, I still think we should be increasing our military, like take out a couple bridges, and just 2 big bridges would be enough to really shake the shake
right.
it.
Well,
and by the way, I believe that even though we all feel for the people of Iran, the bottom line is, I do believe populations hold a certain responsibility and holding their own governments accountable for, you know, terrorizing the world. And I think that the people of Iran, like, what I'm saying is, if a couple of important bridges have to be taken out and we have to rebuild them for them, it may be an inconvenience for the population or whatever, but hey, look, we got to get rid of this horrible government that basically you allowed to rise and fester in your country. And that's, you know, it's like almost like if you go into say a bad son, a good woman raises a bad son, no matter how hard she tries. He keeps pillaging and raping the neighborhood but you know, she loves her son, so she lets him have sanctuary in her house. Eventually, someone's got to come and say, "Sorry, Mama, this boy's got to go to jail." And that's what's happening with that. I mean, you know, sorry, but you know, even if we got to bust into your house and break some of your nice vases or whatever to get to your son and get him off the street, then that's what we have to do, and that's the way it is. We can fix your vase later. You see my analogy?
Well, remember that depending upon who you're talking to. No, 2 other points here. First, for what you're saying, you just have to keep in mind again that there are fewer and fewer things that the Iranians, the IRGC, are able to do, right? They're running out of options. Now, if you find the time tomorrow to go back and watch those Tausi TV.
I will, as Scout's honor.
Okay.
Or at least some of them, maybe parts of them.
Okay, so here is the IRGC's answer to the morale problems in Iran.
Okay, we'll check it out.
Mass marriage.
That's what we need here in America.
Yeah, we can say that. Right. Okay. But in Iran, the point was that, gee, our army guys, they need a morale boost. So we're going to get them married off. So Let's
get them over here, get them some Latino booty.
They have Latin booty, even better, right? You guys, what do you do?
No offense to Latinos out there.
Yeah, that's right. The Iranian babes are hot, but those Latin babes are special. Let's face it. So so they already had, so there are these clips. It is the stupidest. This is such heavy-handed, coarse, blunt, stupid propaganda when you see it. Okay. And so they show like an army Jeep, and it's festooned with balloons and paper flowers, and they're the happy couple is sitting in the Jeep ready to go. And then just multiply that times 100.
You know what? I think we can wrap this up with my ultimate solution for how we can take down the mullah.
Well, I got a couple more though. I get just to illustrate.
Throw it at me.
Yeah, because you got to watch these.
I will.
Okay. The other thing is, so the state TV, two things. So the state TV station had put up these clips where these women in hijabs were being trained on how to use AK-47s.
Mm-hmm.
That showed them stripping their weapons, putting them together, and showing that they knew how to operate them.
Okay.
Do you really think, do they really expect that those women with no military training whatsoever are going to go out and fight whatever troops are going to go after them?
G.I. Jane.
This is so stupid.
G.I. Jane in real life.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so they think they're being clever with their propaganda and saying, look, even these women will fight. No, that's sort of the opposite effect. And then in addition, they had this, it's funny, you will see this reference to a guy who's been in the same studio shooting an AK-47 inside the studio as a way of demonstrating their fierce determination to protect the nation against these invaders.
Taking out the green screen, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That'll show them.
Right.
No, I think I know the way to handle Iran.
Okay,
Bring them down once
there's
and
one
for
more
all.
little piece to this. Okay, so eventually the producers realized that this was turning out to be a bad idea. So the latest now was to put up a target of Donald Trump. And the idea was that the guy bearing the gun would shoot at Donald Trump. Well, since they weren't going to let him use an AK-47 again, they limited his use to a BB gun. Okay?
There you go. I figured it out.
When you hear this thing goes pop, pop, jeez. Oh, man.
So the way to take down Iran.
The word is lame.
The way to take down Iran is since they're the Klingons and we're the Federation, for all you Star Trek fans out there.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna put the tribbles on them. The trouble with tribbles.
Sure.
We'll set the tribbles loose in Iran. They'll absorb the.
Okay.
You ever see the Star Trek?
We'll have to clean up the mess.
That's my out.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So that's sum total what I was going to say on the subject here.
Okay, that's a wrap for tonight for me. It's been a good evening. Now, understand that I'll be back on Tuesday. You're going to be in Stanford on Monday, right?
That's right.
I'll be back on Tuesday, and now next Saturday I'll be gone to Vermont, so I'll be here Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe can we get maybe either Eric or
well, I'm working on
Alan for Wednesday and Saturday.
I'm asking, but I'm also hoping that DJ Ricky can do it. So he was interested.
I'll bet you he'll do it.
Yeah. So
okay, well, it's been a great show once again. Good hearting information as always. It's only going to get better, you guys. So stick with us. Remember to like and subscribe, by the way, here on YouTube. I keep forgetting to mention that. We would love that. Keep that train rolling. And once again, it is D-Day. We didn't mention that real quick, Corey. Yeah, today's the 82nd anniversary of the
82nd anniversary.
Yeah, yours. You know, it's interesting because Europe could use a D-Day again.
Oh, there's a thought. Well, let's remember what went into making D-Day happen.
Yes, that's right. Maybe whatever, a different kind of D-Day, but Europe needs help.
Yeah.
So I want to say goodbye once again for everybody at Common Sense News and Entertainment. We're having our first team meeting on Monday. Looking forward to it. There's balance always between the state and the family, y'all. For Common Sense Entertainment. Good night, everybody.
I was waiting